East of the Tracks by Lance Mason. It was a Tuesday in early December. Chuy Muro dead, killed by the cops. First I knew of Gene going to the DA was the heat showing up at the curb out front of our house. The Richland cops being at the house again would have pissed off my old man, but he was down at the radiator shop getting the Chevy fixed. Things had been rocky between him and me after my mother died, and it wouldn't be until years later, me and the joint, before we got that squared away. Anyway, I opened the front door and got hit by that sweaty chill. 2 cops, the guns, the blue outfits, the cop car on the street. Sure, Gene and I had done some chancy things, peeping Tom stuff, shooting cats with a BB gun, drag racing out by Santa Paula. Best friend since kindergarten, though, and now only 16. Never hurt anybody or ripped them off. Well, maybe we boosted a few things from one shop or another. You want to talk to me? I wasn't being a smartass, that's just what came out. The cop closest to the door said, "Edward Henley?" As if they didn't know. He had his left thumb in his belt and his right hand on his holstered pistola. "Yeah, that's me. We need you downtown at City Hall to answer some questions." "I didn't do nothing." Standard reply to a cop. I'd bluffed them once over illegal fireworks. "You're not under arrest, Edward. The DA just wants to talk." Just talk. I couldn't figure this out. I thought about TV shows, Dragnet with Joe Friday, Racket Squad. I looked at the cop's gun hand. "You're not arresting me?" The cop smiled a little bit cold. "Should we?" I smiled too, like a dumbass, almost feeling my old man watching. "I don't think so." I put on shoes and got in their ride, a '63 black and white Dodge, pretty new, but smelling like a gas station toilet. Downtown, the cops parked and took me inside, sat me on a bench in a long hallway. I figured that was City Hall, till I found out later that meant the whole building. A woman brought me an RC Cola and took me into a big office like on TV. 2 desks, a table, old magazines, a couple chairs. I was drinking the RC and reading about John Glenn, the astronaut, when a guy opened another door, waving me into his office. But first I went to the head, took a leak, and washed my hands a lot since there were cops around. Back in the man's office, an electric fan sitting on top of a filing cabinet held down some papers, and pictures and plaques hung on old wood paneling on the walls, with about 1,000,000 books around. A big window looked through Venetian blinds to a parking lot and Fitzgerald's dress shop. From behind the desk, the guy pointed me to a chair. "Do you know why you're here, Edward?" The nameplate on his desk said Donald Sereno. He was about 5'10" or 11, trim, smelling like Vitalis. Short black hair, no glasses, clean shaven. Like a second baseman or a shortstop, most of them trim with dark hair. He looked like he could peg you out at first base, and didn't seem too much of a dick, not yet. "Eddie?" I said. "Do you know why you're here, Eddie?" "Dangerous. Tell them too much leads to more trouble. But say nothing and you look stupid. Watching drag races out by the lemon orchards?" Smiling, he shook his head. "No, Eddie, I wish that was it." I didn't like that answer, and he'd stopped smiling. "I need to ask you some questions about the death of Jesus Muro." When somebody with power says something like that about a killing, and you don't know anything, it's a relief. You're innocent. You're outside looking in. But if you know something, they're walking you to the edge of a pit, and if you tell them what you know, you just jumped into a big pile of shit. I'd heard once about a chook, short for Pachuco, getting hit in the head with a pipe and dying in a gang fight I didn't see. But I'd seen this fight that led to Chuy getting shot. Still, I was turning 17 soon, feeling important, sitting with a guy wearing a coat and tie in his own office. "What do you want to know?" As if I knew it all, which I sort of did. "Did you know Jesus, Eddie?" Sereno studied the pen between his fingers, so I looked out the window at the town until he looked back at me and smiled again. "Chuy, that's his nickname. Yeah, I knew him some." "Did it bother you that he was killed?" Sereno could smell it, like a dog on the hunt. Yeah, some. Do you know how he died? Well, Christ, how was I supposed to answer that? I thought about the Perry Mason show. Am I under oath like on TV? Sereno smiled again. No, Eddie, but you can have a lawyer here. It's more complicated, but we can do that. That's okay, just wondered. I looked out the window again. He got shot. Jesus Muro? I looked back at Sereno. Chuy, yeah, during a gang fight at Sunrose. Do you know who shot him? Did you see it happen? Sereno kept opening doors and I kept walking through them. Yeah, I saw it. I couldn't fucking believe it. I started to cry. Not bawling, just tears in my eyes from thinking about seeing Chuy laying there, bleeding to death in the dirt. Sereno was fucking with his pen again. His face got a sad, serious look. Who shot Chuy, Eddie? My head and neck were hot now, my eyes watering again. Dookie Draper's old man, him and J.J. Tremor. Sereno stared at the filing cabinet for a while, then at his fingers, then at me. Officers Bill Draper and Joseph Tremor. Yeah. Sereno was no dumbass, taking little steps, not too deep at first, just bit by bit, and I was too young and stupid to see it coming. And you saw this happen? Yeah, I was under a parked car watching. At the Sunrose packing plant. Yep, in the parking lot. And you saw these two policemen shoot Chuy Muro. I glanced at Sereno, not sure if he believed me. I could see he wanted to. Not exactly. Now, looking at the ceiling, Sereno scratched under his chin, started to stand, then didn't. Stuck his pen in his mouth, took it out, then tapped his other hand with it. So you didn't see Draper and Tremor shoot Chuy Muro? This sounded like I was a liar, or stupid, or both. Not exactly, but they killed him, I know that. I was walking a tightrope here. I probably could have stupided my way out of it, but I got all hatted up about playing the big man, or maybe afraid Sereno thought I was lying. Not that I wouldn't give my left nut today to watch those two cops fry. You didn't see them shoot, but you know they did. He was real careful not to put too much into this question. Yep. How do you know? From the shotgun Chuy had, the sawed-off 12-gauge.